Hey, this is Bruce Cook, and thought I'd get in this video before I go to work. One thing I wanted to show I just had to do recently, since we had windstorms a few nights ago that could have been worse, but I had to make an adjustment with a few of my groups of plants because I had a bunch of them topple over. I did have one small branch break on one of these plants that had a few peppers on it, so I'm going to be showing what I did there. And then also a plant variety or a pepper variety that I'm not sure what the heck it is because it doesn't look like anything that I'm growing or that I know that I'm growing. But anyways, a couple nights ago we did have rain and windstorms, and I had one of my yellow moruga scorpion plants fall over. I discovered this stuff the next morning when I woke up. My dragon's breath plants, almost every one of those were toppled over, and all of my Carolina Reaper plants were toppled over with the exception of course, the one that's in the 5-gallon bucket. So I only lost maybe a dozen peppers. They're all just unripened peppers. They had fallen on the ground. And as I said, it was one of my dragon's breath plants that had fallen over that a small branch broke. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I tried some to see if maybe it didn't break clean off. But anyways, so I pulled out my 1 foot tall fencing that I was using last year in front of my pepper plants that I had in front of my front porch. I have it going all the way around the groups on at least these two varieties, and that's going to at least stop the containers from tipping over. And I have bricks helping anchor them into the ground. The bottom of the fencing is sticking into the ground, but that's not going to do anything with the weight of these plants trying to tip over. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to get some rope to go around the tops of the plants, because I would also be worried that if there's strong enough wind to knock these plants over, if the containers aren't budging, like how I have it fixed right now, if we get strong enough gusts of wind, I'd be worried about the top of the plants bending over so much that the stalks break on them. So I'll be putting like a rope or something around this. Maybe put some thin 2x1 lumber, sticking up out of the ground, and then put the rope around it. So that way, if the wind does blow them, they'll just lean up against that, and I don't have to worry about anything breaking. But yeah, I did that with my Carolina Reapers and my Dragon's Breath. So, but anyways, one of my plant varieties, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a bunch of them around the ghost peppers, and I ended up moving them to different spots as the peppers were growing out. They were taking shapes like other plant varieties. They were containers that I didn't have labels in when I very first put them out here, so they got confused. But I took one from the ghost peppers and put them in with the chocolate bhutlahs, because the peppers were growing out looking like chocolate bhutlahs, at least before they ripen. But now, suddenly, this last whole week, I had some of the peppers begin to ripen, and they have actually remained in a red color. So I'm kind of confused as to what these actually are supposed to be. It's these ones right here. So, I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of brown on some of them, but some of them are just staying straight red. They're not advancing into a brown color. So I don't know what's going on with some of these. I don't know if maybe these were meant to be something else, and there's a whole bunch of cross-pollination, but I'm not too sure that's what's going on, because every single pepper is growing out real long. They're shaped like chocolate bhutlahs, but chocolate bhutlahs are not supposed to remain in a red color like you see with several of these peppers. I mean, you can see a couple right there. They've been full size and they've been red like that for at least a week. And I don't know what to make of that. But then this throws me off as well. You do see a couple of peppers on this plant that are turning brown, but those could be the cross-pollinated ones, since these were, sitting with the chocolate bhutlahs the last couple weeks. So I don't know what's going on there. But since the last video, I think I pointed out in the last video that all of my varieties, with the exception of the two Prima Tallies that I have, the red ones, which are these, and the chocolate ones, those were the last two that yet to had ripening peppers on them. Now my chocolate Prima Tallies finally have their first ripened pepper that's ripening. That's this big guy right here. I've been reviewing and eating on video all the first peppers to fully ripen on every one of these varieties. So that huge chocolate Prima Tally is going to be what I'm going to eat. So far, I still have not found any red Prima Tallies to start ripening yet. So once that does happen, I mean, I'm going to review the first one that ripens all the way. And then I'll be ready to start sending some peppers out to some people. But just do a little quick look around on these things. So you got chocolate bhutlahs that are ripe on there. I mean, they're just getting into their brown color. See, I know there was another one down in here somewhere. Well, we got at least that one. So, and then I already picked, I have 3 pepper reviews coming up this upcoming week. I have a Dragon's Breath that I picked off several days ago. So I was going to review that one tomorrow. So that should be nice and sweet by the time I go to eat it, because it was already completely red for several days before I picked it, and now it's been several days since I picked it. So the thing should be thoroughly ripened in and out. And then I did pick off the first Carolina Reaper to ripen. It was right here. I hope this plant has some more peppers shaped like the one I'm going to eat, because I'd like to pull the seeds out of that. It's a very beautiful phenotype, which you'll see when I go to eat it this next week. And I did pull one off of my Scotch bonnets. I've had quite a few of these things ripen, and I have been pulling a lot of ripening peppers off these plants as I've been waiting for everything to fully ripen, just because by the time I go to send peppers out, there would be a lot of peppers that would have started rotting by that time. That's why I didn't just save those for everybody that I'm sending peppers out to. They would have been no good by that time. But I'm just waiting for everything to have ripening peppers on them. And then I'll be sending those packages out to everybody I promised I would to. So, but, yep. And we got our Ricardo Aji Largo. As you see, these things are doing very well, looking healthy. These are handling the hot Georgia sun like they're like it's nothing. So everything's obviously hardened off. And you got these orange habaneros that are doing really well. And of course, all the other plant varieties that I recently transplanted and put them in the 1-gallon containers. You can see these things are getting massive in size. You know, yellow ghost pepper, all the chocolate Murga scorpions. But yeah, that's what I got going on. And if any of y'all have any idea what might be going on with this plant and why these peppers are turning out red like that, let me know. All my red ghost pepper seeds that I used were seeds that I actually got from Jimmy Pickles more than a year ago. So he ended up sending me a whole lot more than what I paid for, so I had enough for a couple seasons. And I don't know why anything is starting to look like that, because my red ghost peppers are supposed to, I mean, they've been typically grown in a bit smaller. I mean, they've been normally growing bigger than that, but I mean, that's typically the shape, you know, smooth skin and all that, where these things are slightly bumpy skin. I mean, these things look like chocolate bhutlahs. That's why I ended up moving them over with the chocolate bhutlahs. But they're some of them are ripening and staying in a really nice red color, and then you see a couple of them are turning brown. So I don't know what's going on. But anyways, that's my video for today. I'll be making the Dragon's Breath review tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, I gotta get ready for work, and I will catch you tomorrow.